Hey guys, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy. This video is going to be a movie review, if I can say it. I got this in the mail today, actually, and it is a movie by Brad Twigg, and it's called Shriekshow. And I do not remember if I contributed to the Indiegogo campaign of this, or if he sent this to me just out of the kindness of his heart, because he has sent me some of his movies before to watch and review. So he may have just sent it to me. I'm not sure. I want to say he just sent it to me because I have supported some of his films in the past on Indiegogo. And I think that when this one was going on, I think I wasn't working. And so I was trying to watch my spending. And because why would you watch your spending when you are working so you can save money? And I present to you Exhibit A, all of this stuff. and this. And that. All of it. So yeah, I think he sent this to me to just maybe watch and review. So I watched it, and I'm going to review it. So this movie, this was recent. He just released it, I think, this year, 2022. But I think they were filming it over the last couple years, because I think the pandemic may have set things back a bit. Don't quote me on that. I may be making all that up. But I do remember seeing lots of posts for the production of this and the Indiegogo campaign for this. So what we have here is an anthology. It's got 3 stories plus the wraparound story. Wow, that's a really loud bird out my window. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. So, and now my cat's freaking out over there. So this takes place on Halloween, and you got this group of best friends. There's Alex, Riley, Sage, and Kyle, and they are heading to this old fairgrounds, and they're going to party. So this is the wraparound story. This is how the whole thing starts. And they get there, and there's this abandoned carnival. So they see a dilapidated circus tent, fun house, and a Ferris wheel that's abandoned and rusting and old and stuff. So, and it's Halloween night, and I kind of don't know what to go into about the stories, because the stories, first of all, I liked all the stories. They all had a really good payoff. A couple of them had kind of a twist payoff, and I don't want to give too much away, because I feel like if you want to watch this, it's nice to not have any idea about that stuff. So the first story, so they get to this abandoned warehouse guy, and then this guy comes out, and he's played by Chris O'Brockie. O'Brockie? I hope I'm saying that right. And he plays the ringmaster. And he starts telling them these creepy tales of stuff that he's witnessed over his time being this carnival ringmaster. So the first story is, again, like I said, I hate to kind of tell too much of it, because the payoff was really good for this one. So you've got people that have gone missing, and these cops are investigating this area where all these people are going missing. And so when they go to investigate, this woman runs out into the street, and she says, they've got my sister tied up in this barn, and she's freaking out. So these 2 cops, who I guess were trying to be undercover cops or whatever, they get out of the car, and they go to this barn, and the woman's tied up, and they start trying to get the woman untied, and shots are fired, and man, I hate to give any more away because the ending of it is so good. But then I feel like if I don't give anything away, then you guys will have no idea. So, okay, so the woman, like, the woman cop, she gets killed by one of the men who has the other girl tied up. She gets killed. And her partner he saves the girl who's tied up, and he tells her to run to the road and not to flag anyone down until she knows, like, she's in a safer area. So he's there, and one of the attackers then, like, stabs him, and he's bleeding all over the place, right? So I guess I'm just gonna, like, have to spoil some of it, because otherwise you're not gonna know how epic it is. But so the cop stabbed, and the girl who he told to run, who he just saved, shows back up. And there's obviously something going on with, like, her and the attackers. So it's like one of these, like, she's in on it kind of a thing, and they've lured these cops here to this location. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Because, again, the ending of that one's really good, and I don't want to ruin it. So then you go back to the ringmaster, and he's like, oh, well, this next tale, and he's real animated, and so he goes into the next story, and the next story is about these guys that go on a fishing trip, and they go to this, they're heading to this, like, location to fish. Well, they stop at this gas station to pick up beer and snacks and bait, and this rude, like, guy that's working there, he's like, you don't want to go to that place, it's all fished out, there's nothing left there, you know. So one of the guys in the convenience store hears the rude clerk telling these guys there's nothing at this location, and so he says, hey, my sister's got a place, and she's got a pond, and it's fully stocked with fish. I was just there fishing, and there's tons of fish. So they're saying, well, we had a cabin booked at this other place, and then the guy tells them that, oh, those cabins have been bulldozed down months ago, and on and on. So he gets them to go to the sister's cabin. So they get to the property, and the one guy goes to take the stuff into the cabin. The other two guys go with the convenience store guy to the fishing location because they're tired of messing around. It's already taken them a long time to get there. And the first guy who takes the stuff into the cabin, he gets snatched by something. Like, you don't see it, but he gets, like, snatched away. And so the other two guys are fishing. The one guy goes, hey, we haven't seen, you know, our buddy in a while. I'm going to go back and check on him. And the convenience store guy is like, well, let me go with you because, you know, these trails get tricky after dark. And the third guy, he's like, I'm not going anywhere. We spent way too long getting here. I'm going to stay here and fish. You guys go do your thing. So the convenience store guy takes the other guy back to the cabin area. And they find the remains of the first guy. And then the second guy's freaking out. He's like, somebody was murdered here. And the convenience store is like, yeah, somebody was murdered here, and now it's going to be you. And so he hits him with, like, a hammer or something. I don't know what he hit him with. And I thought he was dead, but he wasn't. But he's just, like, bleeding and knocked out. So he drags him around the back. And the convenience store clerk guy, or not the clerk, but the other guy, saying, oh, well, I didn't want to have to do this, but my sister, you know, ever since she got bit by that thing in the woods, she has to feed, and, like, on and on, he's going on with that. And that's where I'm going to stop with that one, because more stuff happens, and it's good. And then we get to the final story, which is... this one I think might have been my favorite, and it's probably because I'm afraid of clowns, and this one's a clown one, and the ringmaster kind of looks like a clown anyway. Like, really creepy. So this takes place, this is a real simple story. This little kid, he's forced to go to this birthday party with these other kids. He's not really into it. He stays in the house. His friend was sick and couldn't go, so he's really shy and he doesn't know these other kids, so he stays in the house. And all these kids are at this birthday party. And the parents of the birthday party hire a clown. And I don't know why parents always want to hire a clown. Like, that's a nightmare. That just seems like a pure nightmare. So anyway, they hire this clown, and he's like gonna do like birthday tricks or whatever. So you don't see much action. You see the clown at the party, and you see all the kids, and then it cuts to like some time has passed, a little bit of time has passed, and the other little kid who was in the house the whole time goes out and sees all the kids have been murdered. They're all around the party table. They've all been murdered. The parents have been murdered. And the clown is eating one of the kids. This was messed up. The clown is eating one of the kids. So we cut to like many years later. And this little boy is now an adult. And he like has visions of this clown. He's going to the psychiatrist. All this stuff's happening. That's where I'll stop with that one, because he's still having these hallucinations and all this stuff's still happening. So those are the three stories. I think my favorite story was the third story. And then my second favorite was the first one. And third favorite was the second one. But none of them are really weak. All of them were good. And that's unusual, because a lot of times in anthologies you have like, some of them are weaker than others. So let's get into the things I liked about it, because that was a very long, drawn out, like, plot situation. This had a really cool, all the settings in this were really cool. The setting of the abandoned, like, carnival was really awesome. The makeup on this guy was great. The opening credits had this really cool Halloween vibe. Like, there was trick-or-treaters, there were leaves falling, there were Halloween decorations. Really captured the whole fall atmosphere. The makeup effects were awesome. This guy, Brad Twigg, always does good gore effects in his movies. You can always count on that. There's two things you can count on in a Brad Twigg movie: good gore and nudity. So this movie has both. Not a ton of nudity, but there is some. So if you have issues with the naked bodies, then don't watch Brad Twigg movies. The acting's pretty good in this. The cinematography was good. I really only had one dislike. The only thing I got kind of confused on, and I'm not sure if I missed it somehow, but the ringmaster introduced the second two stories. So when the first story started, I had no clue that the first story had started. So I'm not sure if I missed his intro somehow, or if there was no intro for that first story, because I was thinking, what is going on? When do we get to the stories? And we were already in one. So that was really honestly my only complaint. I thought that the pacing was good. Like I said, the gore effects were great. The acting's good. There were some cameos in this. We have Felissa Rose in a real small role. She's the wife of one of the guys who's going on the fishing trip, and she makes some of her lines were kind of like, oh yeah, well, the last time I went camping, it was middle school, and it wasn't that good of a time, which was funny. You have Tuesday Night from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, and she was the psychiatrist in the third story for the guy who was like having these nightmares about the clown, so that was kind of cool. They put her in the nightmare sort of story. And then Beverly Randolph from Return of the Living Dead was one of the main girls' moms. She was her mom in it. So yeah, you had cool cameos. I think this might be one of his best movies. I've seen several of his others: Killer Camp Out, Russell Massacre, Death Board. I liked them all, but this one, I feel like this one was a really strong one. So if you like independent horror movies, this is low budget. There was a little bit of CGI, but when you are working with a budget, that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to get certain things is with CGI, just because the amount of crew and safety you would have to have on the set would eat your entire budget up. So you got to be able to let some of those things go. This was good. I really enjoyed this one. So if you've seen Brad Twigg's movies before, definitely pick this one up. If you like independent horror movies, I think you'll probably like this one. I really did. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I say check it out. I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you like these videos, give me a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Amy's Autopsy Report. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh, yeah. Sorry it's been a while, guys.